Good morning. This is Orly Taitz, and this is Taitz Report. Well, a lot of things are happening today. One of them, of course, is the fact that Barack Obama called the Republican Party, pretty much, he called them extortionists. He said that they are engaged in extortion. And that came on the heels of Harry Reid stating that Republican Party, that Republicans are anarchists. So why Harry Reid and Barack Obama are going completely berserk? Well, because for once we have some Republicans who are willing to stand up, who are willing to speak up, and who are not willing to take anything and everything that Obama wishes as a rule of law. And they're willing to tell him, listen, now we hold all the cards. You do not hold any cards when it came to the point of asking us to allow you to get more debt, to pretty much take another mortgage, to take another loan, get more debt, on top of over $17 trillion debt that you've already made, 16.7 trillion that we know about, and another $500 billion that Obama incurred by simply taking $100 billion every month since May 17th from the accounts of federal employees, from the retirement and disability account of federal employees. So Republican Party is telling Barack Obama, enough is enough. Well, instead of going berserk, Mr. Obama has about 3 options. A, he can play nice and he can work with Republicans and provide them with a plan of what he will cut, what programs he will cut in order to limit the debt, what steps he'll take to increase the revenues, and not just by stealing from us by increasing our taxes, but by increasing revenues. One of them, of course, is the Keystone pipeline. So that's option A, play nice and make a deal. Option B, live within your means. If you do not want to play nice with Republicans who hold the strings of the purse, who you want to help you, to give you another loan, another mortgage, live within your means. You are getting $2.3 trillion of our money, taxpayer money, in taxes. You increased our taxes by another $285 billion, so you're around $2.6 trillion. That's a lot of money. That in itself, if this would have been a standalone economy, would have been one of the biggest economies in the world, close to $3 trillion. Only a couple of economies are bigger than that. I would say, aside from US, it would be Japan and China, and that's about it. So you have this option, live within your means, and if you're not willing to play nice with Republicans and deal with them, or you're not willing to live or incapable of living within your means, option C, leave. Simply leave, resign. And it's not something far-fetched. In other countries around the world, all over Europe, presidents and prime ministers resigned if they were not able to agree with the parliament, with Congress, if they were not able to live within their means, they simply left. And that's what is left for you as option C. So which one is going to be? Further, if you are dealing with Republicans, there are 7 things that you will have to do. One of them, you will have to cut this spending, just unprecedented spending. Just to give an idea of how big is our spending, we have now $17.2.3 trillion debt, 125 trillion of unfunded obligations, and we're paying every year, currently at a rate of $440 billion just in interest on this humongous debt. Just if interest that we are paying, if it would have been a stand-alone economy, it would have been one of the biggest economies. There are 194 countries in the world, and according to the UN, $440 billion, it would have been 27th standalone economy out of 194 economies in the world. So the gross national product, GDP, of some 170 countries is less than what Americans are paying in interest only on this debt. Enormous, just enormous interest. And Barack Obama keeps telling, you're going to hurt Americans. You're going to hurt progress and recovery. Excuse me? We have no progress. We have no recovery. Have you looked at the latest census data? What it shows that since Barack Obama took office, the number of people not in workforce went down. The number of people who are in workforce went down by 10 million people. And today we have 90.5 million not in labor force at all, and another 11.3 million who are unemployed. So we have over 100 million people who are not employed. Also, poverty went up. We have 6 million more people who are in poverty thanks to Barack Obama's policies. We have debt that went up by 70%. When Obama took office, our debt was 10 trillion. Now it's over 17 trillion. He incurred as much debt as 42 presidents and going up to year 2 or 3 of Bush 43 presidency. By the end of Obama presidency, he would incur as much debt as all of the presidents before him. Just enormous debt. So Barack Obama did not improve the economy. It's just all an illusion. That's what is happening. I could probably compare this to a family. What Barack Obama is saying, you have to increase the debt limit. You have to do it. I mean, it would have been similar to a wife telling the husband, you know, sweetie, I just went shopping and I maxed all of the credit cards. So you have to get me yet another credit card. The husband would tell her, what's wrong with you, sweetie? Did you fall on your head lately? No, I'm not going to give you another credit card. We better start working on cutting your spending. I mean, when Obama is saying, I gave you health care, I improved the economy. No, he didn't give us health care. He gave us debts. If Obamacare were to start today, off the bat, we would have had $9 trillion on unfunded obligations. We have no money to pay for it. What Obama is doing with Obamacare would be similar to a husband coming home and telling his wife and children, you know, guys, I'm the best husband in the world. I'm giving you the best healthcare, the best house, the best cars, the best food, everything the best. But here's a little glitch. I don't want to work. I'm just too lazy to work. So I'm going to just play golf, and I'm going to go to the bank and I will take a loan. And sometimes later, the kids will pay off this loan. Whatever it might be, whatever will accrue. But I'm the greatest. I got you everything. If a husband were to tell something like this to his wife, to his children, where he would take upon himself all of this debt and would just sit there and do nothing and expect the kids to pay it off, the wife and the kids would tell him, "You're a moron at best, or a scoundrel with no moral values at worst. You gave us nothing. You gave us debt." And that's what is happening today. Barack Obama and Democratic Party did not give us anything. All they gave us is debt. And what the Republican Party is saying, or some moderate Democrats who have some moral values and conscientious about what they're doing, they're saying, stop it. Stop it. It's insane. Sit down across the table with the members of the US Congress and start cutting. And the first thing that needs to be cut and changed is the situation that we have today with the White House. On March the 5th, Barack Obama closed the White House to American citizens and American children, saying that due to sequestration and lack of funding, he cannot find $2 million, estimated $2 million, what it costs to have those White House tours, what it costs on security. However, during the same time, over 200 lobbyists visited the White House 347 times. During the same time, Barack Obama spent millions upon millions of dollars on his trips, vacations, rounds of golf, you name it. Just his trip to Africa was estimated at $100 million. This has to end. There has to be an agreement. Before US Congress even considers giving Barack Obama any more money, what US Congress needs to do is demand that Barack Obama reopen the White House immediately to American citizens and American children, because we are the owners of the White House and we were locked out of our house. And he will have to show us where he cut his spending, cut the stuff, cut the trips, cut vacations, and show us where you made the cuts to account for security that is needed so that we can go to our house, visit our White House. It does not belong to the president. The president is there just a resident for 4 years at a time. It belongs to the people, and Obama has an obligation to reopen it immediately. Moreover, there has to be an agreement, legislation passed that something like this does not happen ever again, where an obnoxious individual sitting in the position of the US president is closing the White House, the people's house, to the people of the United States of America. This has to end immediately. That's to begin with, off the bat. No continuing resolution until you reopen the White House to American people and you find cuts in your own spending, whatever it might be. Further, Republican Party offered and will offer tomorrow to Barack Obama a plan where he would have to sign on Keystone Pipeline that will give us estimated 40,000 jobs and revenues that we need, high-paying jobs and revenues, and oil that is coming from a peaceful neighbor to the north and not from Middle Eastern countries that are in turmoil or communist countries of Central or South America. This has to be done immediately. This does not cost any money. Barack Obama needs to stop playing games, because by refusing to sign the Keystone Pipeline, he is only helping his friends in jihadist countries, in radical Muslim countries. That's what he is doing. And this has to end. He has to sign Keystone agreement immediately. Further on, Republican Party has told him that we have no money to start any new programs. We are bankrupt and we're incapable of paying programs we already have. Moreover, Obama has given extensions to his friends, to Congress, exemptions, extensions to companies. They would not start Obamacare for another year. Therefore, the same thing should be done to American people. At the very minimum, there has to be a 1-year extension. Otherwise, it's discrimination against American citizens. So this has to be done. And I believe that now, with continuing resolution, the Republican Party has to demand defending Obamacare. And in the middle of negotiation, this defunding might be reduced to extension of funding or delaying the funding for 1 year. Further, Barack Obama needs to show members of the US Congress where and what will he cut. For example, Obama has increased the personnel of the federal government by 200,000 people. He hired 200,000 more people, pencil pushers, bureaucrats to work for the federal government. When we are bankrupt, we cannot pay salaries of the people who are already working for the government. He had to dip into the retirement and disability funds of federal employees in order to make it until now from May 17th. So he needs to show that he is serious, that he is acting as an adult, and he is making necessary cuts to remove the interest, remove our debt, and start repaying our debt, and start replenishing the funds and programs that we already have, where we have $125 trillion of unfunded obligations. So, Mr. Obama, to recap, what is it going to be? Is it going to be A, you are playing nice with Republicans, you're not calling names, you're not throwing fits, you and Harry Reid are not going berserk and starting serious negotiations in terms of cutting your spending and delaying programs that we cannot afford? Or is it going to be B, you're going to live within your means and not going to spend more than $2.6 trillion that you're getting from us in taxes, and not $3.8 trillion that you have been spending today, 3 times more than George Bush ever spent? Or is it going to be option C, where you simply leave, resign, we have an early election, and we hire somebody who is capable of working with Congress and who is capable to manage an economy and cut spending? I guarantee you that any housewife in the United States of America would be more successful in cutting spending than you've been until now. And this is Taitz report for today. Thank you.